A wave of bomb threats against state government buildings continued across the country today. Roughly a dozen states targeted with hoaxes in just the last 2 days. In Mississippi, multiple bomb threats at various locations across the state. In Arkansas, a courthouse also receiving a bomb threat, forcing it to evacuate. And in Maine, courthouses across the state were evacuated after similar threats.
So what went through your mind when it happened?
Perfect, the day that I'm here, but I'm hoping that it's all a false alarm.
This comes after yesterday's threats against state capitol buildings across the nation. At least 8 state complexes forced to evacuate yesterday because of bomb threats from Michigan to Kentucky. The threats were all hoaxes sent by email. No bombs or explosives were found.
Just threatened, said we have a bomb in the building. And I contacted the FBI, contacted our partners with the Kentucky State Police, and they right away started taking a look at it.
But the threatened violence is part of a pattern of intimidation. In just the last 2 weeks, Georgia Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene says she has been the victim of a swatting attempt with authorities called to her residence. And in Maine, Secretary of State Sheena Bellows, also the target of swatting, after ruling former President Donald Trump is ineligible to appear on the state's primary ballot, a ruling being appealed by him.
We have had an astounding number of threats against public servants over the last several years. I think that when career public servants in the Justice Department and in election workers and airline crews, when they are singled out, this can lead to threats of violence and actual violence.
Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold says she's received dozens of threats, most recently after being named as a party in a lawsuit that led the Colorado Supreme Court to rule that Trump is ineligible for that state's primary ballot.
Within 3 weeks of it being filed, I had 64 death threats. Since the decision, I've received dozens of death threats. The judges have just been swamped with death threats. But I'll tell you, it's been a really scary situation.
As the voting and caucusing are set to begin in this critical election year, the threats of violence adding tension to a nation and electorate already on edge.
Okay, Guad joins us now from Miami. Guad, in addition to the government buildings, a large number of synagogues also received threats. What can you tell us about these, and are they related?
Valerie, on Tuesday, over 100 synagogues in California received an email claiming that explosives were on their property. Authorities, of course, became involved. These synagogues were forced to shut down. Now, they did not find explosives on those properties, and authorities believe that those claims are not credible. As this investigation continues now, we don't know if there's any connection between those threats to the government buildings and the synagogues as the investigation in California does continue. Valerie.
All right, Guad Venegas, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.